Good morning, and thank you for your patience. I would like to remind everyone to please make sure that all cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. Also, please be advised our city council meetings are broadcast on Comcast Channel 99, AT&T UVerse, and the City of Gadsden YouTube channel. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair calls on City Clerk Iva Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Latham.
Present.
Councilman Smith.
Here.
Councilman Avery.
Here.
Councilman Back.
Here.
Councilman Wilson.
Here.
Councilwoman Minatra.
Here.
And Councilman Robinson.
Here.
We have a quorum present and our meeting is open for business. I'm going to ask Councilwoman Latham to lead the invocation. Please stand and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father God, we acknowledge you as omnipotent. We thank you that you have blessed us and afforded us the opportunity of life, health, and strength today. We ask your guidance, Lord God, as we do your will. We thank you that you know the way that we take. And so we ask that you will order every step, that you would lead us and guide us as we take care of the business of the city. We ask your continued blessings upon our mayor and his staff, upon the city council, and upon the city workers, upon our city at large. We pray that your will be done, and we take authority over every demonic force and satanic attack that will try to come against us. We thank you, and we bless you for what you have done, for what you are doing, and for the things that you are about to do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I believe our group left, I think. I still want to recognize them, though. In our pre-council meeting, we had a group from Gadsden City High School. They were special guests of ours. They were Miss Yolanda Kimball and students from her management principles class at Gadsden City High School. They were observing today's city council meeting as part of a class assignment. I think we gave them some extra work, probably. Yeah. That might be why they didn't stay for the actual council meeting. But I did see them out there, and I wish I would have known they weren't going to be here. I would have recognized them then. But we are happy to recognize Miss Kimball's students from Gadsden City High School in her management principles class at Gadsden City High School. I think it's great when our schools are giving the students and providing the students real life training, and they're seeing how, as we like to say sometimes, the sausage is made in city government. So that was good. Thank you, Ms. Kimball, and thank you, Gadsden City High School students. All right, item number 5, the chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the Finance Committee work session and City Council meetings held on May 2nd.
So moved.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
Item 6, the chair will entertain a motion to ratify payment of accounts for the week of April 28th through May 4th.
So moved. Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Item 7 is reserved for proclamations and commendations. I believe we have some this morning.
Good morning. Today is a very special day for us in Gadsden, and I don't want to steal their thunder. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Ray and Tony from Crime Stoppers. And then immediately following them, we'll have Modern Woodmen of America, Chris and Cassie, to present an award as well.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Tony Garrett. I serve as the Executive Director of Central Alabama Crime Stoppers. It is an honor to be here today.
Thank you.
Today we come in a good note. We're not asking for money. We're not trying to demonize anyone. We're trying to award 3 officers that did a heroic action. Would Sergeant Danny Haas, Officer Alec Burgess, and Officer Chris Phillips, would you come forward, please? Gentlemen, if you would, stand in front. Thank you. Put y'all in public view. I'm going to read off a press release that we're going to put out shortly. Gentlemen, just so you know, one bad mark, it takes about 10 of these to make that bad mark go away. So, but we're going to read off our press release. On May 9th, 2023, Central Alabama Crime Stoppers awarded Sergeant Danny House, Officer Alec Burgess, and Officer Chris Phillips with the title of Gadsden City Police Department's 2022 Crime Stoppers Officer of the Year. Gadsden City Police Captain Wayne Keenan wrote, Sergeant Danny House, Officer Alec Burgess, and Officer Chris Phillips went above and beyond the call of duty by placing themselves in danger to save the life of a distraught individual on November 18, 2022. As follows. On November 18, 2022, officers arrived at the Railroad Bridge within 90 seconds of being dispatched. Officers arrived on the scene of Abbott Lanes Boulevard in the midst of heavy traffic where some vehicles were traveling at least 45 miles per hour. They came upon a distraught person and a vehicle blocking that had been disabled. Officers were able to approach and grab a distraught person about the time they decided to jump from a bridge. The body camera displayed video that was both devastating to see and distressing to hear. They were in a place at a particular moment to be able to interact with a human being who felt unloved and underappreciated to the point of taking drastic measures that could have ended with devastating consequences. It was incredibly uplifting to hear Sergeant Houser's first words to the person he pulled from danger, "I love you." Officer Burgess, who was in arm's reach, reiterated Sergeant's words and said, "I don't like heights. Let's walk off this bridge together." The officers escorted the person back to the base of the bridge where the Gadsden Fire Department was waiting and administered top-notch treatment. As they approached members of the Gadsden Fire Department, the person asked the officers, "Why do y'all care what happens to me? Nobody else cares." Sergeant Hawes answered, "We care. We are here because we want to be here." The officers' actions were heroic. Their words were comforting. Any of the three men would tell you they did exactly the same thing any other officer would have done, and that's probably true. However, in itself, no way lessens the difference they made in a human being's life that Friday. These are the type of men and women you have protecting your family, your homes, and your businesses every single day. When it is said we have an outstanding police department, these guys prove it. Thank you, Sergeant Danny House, Officer Alec Burgess, and Officer Chris Phillips for your service. You have brought great honor to our department and to the community you serve. Sergeant Danny House, Officer Alec Burgess, and Officer Chris Phillips, on behalf of Central Alabama Crime Stoppers, we are honored to present you with the Gadsden City Police Department's 2022 Crime Stoppers Officer of the Year Award. I'm going to sit down, but David Ray is officer, law enforcement relations officer or director. Those bags have a lot of goodies in it. Make sure you look into every little crick and cranny. You also get the awards in your hand and a certificate and a letter of this this copy of this press release, so you have proof that your captain once actually talked good about you. Again, fellas, it's an honor to come up here. We give about 25 of these out per year. It is an honor to come up here and to give a deserving award to you guys. Again, thank you for having us here. Thank you for supporting Crime Stoppers, and we look forward to supporting the city in its efforts to deter crime.
Thank you, Crime Stoppers, for being here today. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
And from Woodman Life, I inadvertently said the wrong name earlier,
Okay.
Woodman Life.
And thank you for letting us be here today to present this Lifesaver Award to these fine officers. They've did such a great job of saving a life. We present these to not only police departments, but fire departments and individuals across the country. We're in 30-something states, and we present these lifesaver awards when we see something that deserves to be recognized, and we think these officers deserve to be recognized for what they did. So we're going to present them with this award. Thank y'all for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, President and Council, I want to say thank you to Crime Stoppers. Recently, we had some vandalism at the Falls, and the Mayor's Office Discretionary Fund decided to chip in $1,000 to help us try to find the culprit. And thanks to Bobby Jackson and our police department, we were able to discover who that person was and some other individuals involved, and that's being taken through the court system at this time. So like I've heard, a lot of us have interviews. We're serious about the graffiti and the litter, but I want to make a presentation to Crime Stoppers for $1,000. So thank you. Thank you. And I want to say something to our police department. I was watching the news the other night, and I saw a mayor get kind of a squabble with his police department over some issues about policing and some of the stuff that was going on. Let there be no doubt that this mayor and this mayor's office supports our police and fire department. We are proud of our police and fire. I get numerous issues saying they don't do this, they do that, and they do this, and we support them 100%. So I want to say thank you to you all, and from our council, we appreciate you. So thank you for your service.
Don't go anywhere.
Y'all can stay in just for one with everybody? Yeah, one with everybody.
Would like to reiterate Mayor Ford's comment. I think on behalf of the council, we certainly support our police 100% and very proud of these officers. And thank you to the organizations for taking time out to honor our policemen. Thank you very much. Item 8 is unfinished business. Item 8A is an ordinance amending fiscal year 2023 budget. This was presented last week for first reading. It transfers $217,654 from various public works expenditure accounts to fund nuisance abatement grass cutting contracts authorized by resolution number R-182-23. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this ordinance.
So moved.
Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 9 is a resolution authorizing agreement with Academy Sports and Outdoors. This is for the company to provide $1,200 cash and a $600 gift card in exchange for advertising at certain city events. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Is there any discussion?
I think just the only thing I would add, Council President, is this has been a long-standing relationship with Academy Sports and our Parks and Rec Department. I think we've done this for several years, maybe since the Academy Sports was opened here.
Yeah.
So they've always been huge supporters of our Parks and Rec Department, and we appreciate them being here.
All right, thank you. Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 10 is a resolution authorizing agreements with Alabama Department of Transportation. These agreements allow the city to replace and maintain the existing fence along the eastern right-of-way of U.S. Highway 411 from approximately River Road to the northbound I-759 ramp. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution. Is there any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Item 11 is for new business. I believe we have some new items this morning.
Yes, sir. Councilman Avery, do you want to do yours first, or you want me to go ahead?
This item of business is requested from Financial Department. It's ordinance amending fiscal year 2023 budget various projects. That would include these projects that would mentioned in pre-council consist of the Broad Street Bridge, relighting bridge, pedestrian and drainage projects, and material testing and fire stations, just to name a few. This is $532,000 for the general fund unassigned fund balance into the other contractual service account. I am asking for immediate consideration for this today.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the ordinance today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Motion
we
to
have
be-
unanimous consent for consideration.
Your motion be considered.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Mr. President, I have two items to present under new business. One of these is routed to us from the legal department. This is a resolution authorizing a grant application and acceptance from the Alabama Department of Economic and Community Affairs for the fiscal year 2023 Electric Vehicle Charging Infrastructure Program Grant. This is, and I'd like to recognize Mr. Jonathan Tang from Ira Phillips and Tang Mart Convenience Stores, who's going to help us and be a partner with the city on this project. This will allow the city to receive and install multiple electric vehicle charging stations throughout the city. One of them's at the venue, I believe. One of the stations will be at the venue. I believe one's at Nakalula Falls, and there was one more downtown. Yeah, so this will give us the ability to, our citizens, the ability to charge their electric vehicles throughout the community, and this is great. I believe this is 100% funded from the electric vehicle charging and infrastructure program grant from ADECA. So I would ask that we suspend the rules and consider this resolution under new business, please.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Councilman Avery? All right, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution under new business today, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move to adopt.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Mr. President, one more from the Finance Department. This is an ordinance amending the fiscal year 2023 budget for emergency demolition of Neilco buildings. These are buildings that are located out on West Megan that have become a safety and public health or public safety issue, and we have an ordinance that will move $23,750 from the general fund unassigned fund balance into the other contractual services account that will allow us to take care of this safety issue. So I would ask that we suspend the rules and consider this ordinance under new business, please. Can I get a second? Second. Thank you.
And an amen.
Yes. I'll leave that to District 1 and 2.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the ordinance today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, we have unanimous consent for consideration.
Move to adopt, please.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the ordinance, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
That's all I have.
Yes, Mr. President, I have one requested by the Engineering Department. This is for award bidding number 3512 to Bob Smith Construction. It's for the new covered train platform and maintenance station at Nakalula Falls. It's for our new electrical trains. It'll get these trains covered and out of the weather. It'll also help us out with a little with some heating and some cooling issues, and also some better handicap accessible. I would like to suspend the rules and ask this to be new business today. Thank you for the second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move to adopt.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
I believe that's all for new business. Item 12 is department reports, committees, and boards. I think we do want to, if there's no department reports, I think we want to make an introduction this morning of our newest. Ruth, anybody, can you come and thank you.
Absolutely. Good morning,
Yes, ma'am.
everyone.
Good morning.
Now, I didn't hear myself. Good morning, everyone. So
Good morning.
I am extremely pleased to introduce, or I will allow her to introduce herself. I won't steal her thunder, but we are so excited of this hire, Nasia Corbett. For those that don't know, she wrote the RAISE grant for the city of Gadsden. We haven't received a response from that yet, but she comes with a wealth of knowledge in the area of community development. I'll let her tell you where she worked from, but I will tell you this. She started yesterday. We hit the ground running 200 miles an hour with no brakes, right? We've already met with Christy Robinson over at the Chamber for the Micro Enterprise Program. We're really excited about that. Christy has already gone through some training, so she was ready to receive us and to really kind of wrap some structure around those bones for that. But as well, we're looking at some housing revitalization opportunities to connect with through Washington. We actually sat down with HUD, and they told us write it and send it to us. So I'm extremely, if you can't tell, I am very excited because community development is here to develop the community. I think Heath is starting to duck when he sees us walking in the door. We've been in his office multiple times putting together some things that we're about to do. So anyway, with no further ado, I'm going to let her introduce herself. She's a little bit shy, but let me tell you, she is in my terminology, a beast when it comes to these things. So come on, Nasia.
Amen. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nasia Corbett, and I have worked with the City of Gadsden for a couple of years on the local development district background from East Alabama Regional Planning and Development Commission. It's always been a pleasure, but I'm here now, and I'm so excited, all the growth and the great things that's happening in the City of Gadsden, and I'm so excited to be a part of it. So do not hesitate to reach out. I've already hit the ground running, so I'm already well broken in. So thank you all for having me, all the kind words and well wishes.
Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
So I just want to say, when Ruth was interviewing, she said, "Do you want to sit in on the interview?" I said, "No, you're smarter than I am." Yeah. So she said, "I got somebody from East Alabama Regional Council," and I said, "How did we find that?" So when she brought us Nasia, we cut up with her, had fun. She's got a great sense of humor, but we say we like to hire 5-star recruits. She's a 5-star, and we're proud to have you, Nasia, and welcome aboard. So thank you.
That's very exciting. Yes, welcome. Welcome to the City of Gadsden. We look forward to working with you and developing our community. Thank you so much. Are there any other reports, committees, or boards? All right, if not, we'll move to the citizen request, item 13. Buster Porch is asked to speak, and he's going to speak on Community Thanksgiving event. Mr. Porch is no stranger to city council chambers and all the hard work that, sometimes, Buster, I feel like I should call you Mr. Mayor because you are a former mayor, but thank you for being here today.
Oh, that's ex-former has-been.
Oh, you're far from a has-been. Thank you, though.
Oh, good morning, and a good morning. Mayor Ford, City Council, and of course, the heart of this administration. Look at her. Ms. Nelson. You know, April 1943 was a glorious year. No, that was the year my mother decided to give me life. But April of 23, my two daughters decided that I needed to celebrate my 80th birthday. I protested because I didn't want Gadsden to know that I was 20 cents short of $1. But when you give out love to your children, they return love to you eventually sometime down the road. So my daughter Leah from Lawrenceville, Georgia, my daughter Sherry from Illinois, they decided they want to celebrate my birthday, my 80th birthday. You know, I protested a little bit because, 80, you live a good life. And you remember the good things of life. But I knew my two daughters, I was not going to win this protest. So I decided, let's make a compromise. We can have this celebration only on the stipulation that the guests make some type of small donation to the community Thanksgiving dinner. They agreed. Because, at 80, I have enough stuff that one of them are going to eventually throw away. And as I did at my birthday celebration, I paid honor to my mother, Emma Jean Porch Buckner. So in honor of my mother, and with the upcoming Mother's Day on this coming Sunday, I have two checks totaling $500 that I'm giving in honor of my mother, Emma Jean, and around the neighborhood of Flatwood, Hickory Street. She dared anybody to call her Emma Jean. She was the Mama Jean of the neighborhood. So some guests stated that they would donate at a later date. And some has, I understand. But, I just want to thank all my guests for the one that has donated and the one that's going to donate, because Community Thanksgiving is a Gadsden event and indeed a positive image for the city of Gadsden, as I and my entire family are involved in it. And I thank each and every one of you for allowing me this moment. I give you the heart of Thanksgiving dinner.
The Community Thanksgiving Board, along with myself, would like to thank Mr. Buster Porch in his selfless act of choosing to accept donations for Community Thanksgiving in lieu of gifts for his birthday. That speaks his character and his heart for this community, and we're so thankful for that. It is people like that in our community who keeps Community Thanksgiving going. Last year, we fed over 6,500 people with a $30,000 budget. This year, with rising costs, we've had to raise our budget to about $40,000. So, again, we want to thank Mr. Buster for his gift, and we ask you, Mr. Mayor and Council, to please consider giving again this year, like you have in the past, not only from your discretionary funds, but also personally for your time and your finances, because this is a huge event and it touches many, many people's lives on that Thanksgiving Day. Again, thank you for allowing me to speak.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Buster. Next on our request to speak is John Crane. He's the, I guess I can almost quit saying the new Humane Society Director, because it's been a little while, but John, thank you for coming today.
Thank you, sir. As you said, I've been the director for 6 months now. And when I first came and spoke to y'all the first time at this podium, my main goal was open intake from the Humane Society. And I can say by the end of November of last year, that was accomplished. But I don't really think I knew what I was walking into, so I kind of want to give you an update. When I arrived at the Humane Society, none of the electrical lighting inside the building worked. That has been corrected. I had exit signs dangling from wires, or they didn't exist. That has been corrected. And I hope Chief Jaggers agrees with me, but I think this is the best working relationship that the Animal Control and the Humane Society's had in a very, very long time. When I first walked in, we had animals that had been there well over 6 months. The animals today, the longest one we have there's been there for 95 days, so we've cut that time in half. One of the things that Animal Control no longer hears is, we're closed, we have no room. That's not acceptable. But in that vein, we also need to note that for April of this year, Animal Control brought us 120 dogs and 34 cats. Due to supply issues, dog food, medications, maintenance supplies such as mop heads, sanitary cleansers, paper towels, everything has gone up dramatically, and we need help. We need cooperation from our area veterinarians. To continue the efforts of Animal Control, some hard choices have had to be made. And at this point, we do not have the facility to make those choices. We need area vets to work with us to continue the work. And finally, I would like so very much to thank the mayor for our new board members. We have a new energy, we have new ideas coming up, and things are looking better. And for that, sir, thank you. Now, this is the part that usually gets me in trouble. Are there any questions?
Mr. President.
Yes, Mayor.
I'll say, you know, I want everybody to understand, especially watching on TV, the dog problem didn't happen overnight. The animal issue has been going on. A lot of people, I found out during COVID, adopted animals.
Yes.
And then we all went back to work, and now the animals are being neglected. So they're running everywhere. So our Animal Control is doing an excellent job. They can't do any more than what they're doing. We have cages set out in areas where we're not trying to get someone's animal that is their pet. They're actually wild herd of dogs that are running in packs that are very dangerous that we are trying to pick up and take to the Animal Humane Society. So to Chief, thank you. It's been a 180-degree turn. It's been painful. Trust me, I told Tina, I said, if I hear about any more dogs running loose somewhere else, I said, I'm going to go find them and adopt them or something. But listen, thank you for what you're doing, and to the board, and for Jenna Hollingsworth, and for Tina, and for you. This has been an amazing transition, and we still got a ways to go. And we do need some revenue, some funds, some resources, volunteer hours, and people, we need your help. So if you're listening, please help us. This is a serious issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Ford.
I have something. Miss King, you hear that, didn't you? You know who we got? We got two little munchkins that we cannot catch. So we need the mayor to come and adopt these two and come help us catch these things. These are the smartest dogs in the world. They are the smartest dogs in the world. And the lady that they are, that claiming that they're terrifying her. She cannot stand these little things, and man, I'm telling you, we can catch them. We thank you, your staff, the two gentlemen that came out. We actually caught 3 dogs that day. We went out all together as a community effort to get them. So get your man and tell him come on and get these dogs, because man, I'm telling you, these little things, they watch us look for them, and I think they sit there and eat popcorn and laugh at us.
Mayor President.
Yes,
Mr. President.
Councilman Wilson.
Chief Crane, I remember when you first took over, I'd ask you, what can I do to help? And you said, we need dog food. And I said, well, what do I do? Did I just go to Walmart and buy some dog food and bring it? And he said, oh, no, you can just get on Amazon and order it and just have it delivered straight to the building. So I did that. And I will admit, he said, actually, Jason, you can just set it up on a recurring delivery to where it just delivers every week if you want to. I haven't done that yet. But with that in mind, can you elaborate on what exactly the general public and citizens can do to help support your efforts at the Humane Society, up to and including dog food, again, as you said, cleaning supplies, anything? What's the most effective way for citizens to support what you're doing over there?
Monetary donations, without a doubt.
Yeah. And how could they go about doing that? I mean, what's the easiest way?
You can donate online at our website, hsprc.com. Mail us a check.
Yeah.
I've told people in the past too, if you just want to walk down when you're grocery shopping, walk down the grocery aisle and pick up a bag or a pack of wet dog food or cat food. We're not going to turn anything down. We're really and truly doing the best we can. But there's a point that when you want to keep the goals going, you got to have further support in doing that.
Are those contributions tax? Can they write those off?
We are a 501c3
okay.
charitable organization.
And again, just to the point, like anything else in the world, the more you buy of it, the cheaper it gets. I mean, you can actually get on Amazon and buy pallets of dog food at a time, and it becomes exponentially cheaper. So even if you've got a few people in your community that want to pool their funds together, your dollar can go much further if you pull those dollars together, and you can really make an impact. And no kidding, you can just plug in their address and hit enter and pay for it, and the delivery trucks will just drop it off right there at their front door.
Yes, sir.
And to that point, I'm going to make this announcement at District 3 meeting this evening because I know this one person has definitely been on us, and we get those text messages are very, very direct. But to the point of the need and the pallet, I'm going to make an announcement and see if we can, as a community, make that happen, because we definitely we have a lot of calls that come from that community, from our community to your department, and the least that we can do is to help with that, because you all have gotten a lot of animals from us and gotten a lot of calls from us as well. So and so at least we can do is to help. And so I'll make that announcement at the meeting tonight and see if we can get a pallet, to Jason's point, being that it's cheaper with a pallet.
What was the website again for giving, people that want to give?
www.hsprac.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, Humane Society Pet Rescue and Adoption Center, so hsprac.com.
Do you have that on like Channel 99 or anything, like a little commercial or some kind of little pop-up that pops up that gets that website where people know they can donate?
I think we may have it on our Facebook page.
Can we do that? Okay.
We can work something in on Channel 9.
And let me ask, is there any like programs or do we work on with some grant money or something for the programs for the Humane Society to like stop this from where it actually begins, like spade and neutering, where we can like actually discount that way lower or get that to a free, during certain times? Because I feel like if we could do that, that would help.
When somebody
help
adopts an animal from us, their adoption fee covers sending them down to Birmingham to have them spayed or neutered and vaccinated for rabies.
Gotcha.
And it's like they bring them down on one day, they're transported, and by the third day, they're back.
Right.
So
I was just talking about a general thing where you go out to the public and say, this weekend, bring your animal down here. If you can't afford to spay or neuter him, we'll do it for $10 or we'll do it for nothing.
Well, and Councilman Robinson, I think to Chief Crane's point earlier, they don't actually have the facilities there to do that. So that's why they depend so heavily on local veterinarians to perform those services. If you notice what Chief Crane just said, we take the animals to Birmingham to have them spayed and neutered. If we had more support, I think, from the local veterinarian community, that'd probably be a lot easier to do. And also, Chief Crane, didn't we help fund, I think, recently a program for cats specifically where they're collected into the community, the surgeries are performed, and then they're released back into the community? Wasn't that
that's the TNR program.
Yeah.
Trap, neuter, and release.
Yeah.
And again, that keeps the animals from reproducing. They go back to their colonies, but you don't have an increasing population.
Yeah, the numbers blew my mind when we actually went through that, about how, if you don't think about it, but a cat can have multiple litters a year, and each litter may have multiple kittens. So if you think about neutering one cat, it could theoretically prevent dozens of new kittens from being on the streets. So if you go out and catch 50 of these feral cats and neuter them, you could potentially be keeping hundreds, if not thousands, of new kittens off the street. So that's an awesome program.
That's good. Thank you, Chief. And so just point of information from a financial standpoint, I think by state law, cities are required to do what we're doing as a city. We have to have a place to take stray animals. And so I believe in this current budget, I don't remember exactly the number, but I believe the city funds around
125 or something.
I thought it was like 11,000 a month.
Yeah, isn't it about 125,000 a year, something like that?
10,600 something a month.
Yeah. And that's just I say that to let the public know of the enormous problem that this is and the enormous challenge. And you're hearing Chief Crane, who, by the way, full disclosure, is our retired chief of police, so sometimes you'll hear us refer to him as Chief Crane. It is such a problem. We need responsible pet owners. If you're not going to be able to maintain your animal, then maybe don't get one. That might be a good thought. Or either be responsible in how you handle if you don't want your pet anymore, do it in a responsible way and not just drop them off at the side of the road somewhere and they wind up Chief Crane's doorstep. And then I think every year probably the funding for the Humane Society increases, and it's something that we're not only duty bound by state law, but I think we're morally bound as a body of government officials that we want to help. But it is a big problem, and y'all make that dollar stretch probably better than anybody.
Yes.
And so, that's an obvious point. And so, thank you for how you responsibly adjudicate tax dollars to help fight this. Just seems to be never-ending problem. It's just unfortunate that society does what society does when it comes down to their pets and the animals.
Well, again, thank y'all for having me up here today, and y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, next on the citizen request is Larry Suttles. Mr. Suttles is asked to speak to flooding concerns that have previously been addressed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I really like to thank my classmate, Kent Beck, and Chief Lee, and Mr. William and Ms. Nelson. They are aware of a lot of things I've been working on with the flooding. One of them is the 11th Street project, where 4 children almost died. One is Airport Industry Road, where you go in, it floods on one side, and there's two sides to it, and it's a divider in the middle, and people goes on the other side to get to work, and tractor trailers come out through that way. I've been working with Mr. William on another one over on Stillman, the lower part of Stillman, and one on Greenwood, and one on Riley Street. So I got citizens asking me, what's the update on it? I know we have a new elected city council, new mayor, so I want to address this. I'm going to let you know I'm going to be in your area. There's people that talk to me, regular citizens talk to me, might not talk to you, but I love to talk to you. That's not going to bother me any. And I would like to, Mr. Williams to kind of address it a little bit to see what has become of these areas that we discussed.
All right, thank you, Mr. Suttles. I guess for those two, the Airport Road Industrial and then the South 11th Street, or the,
South 11th.
South 11th?
Yeah.
Heath, can you give us any brief update on that?
I can. The first one, North 11th, so that's right there in between Tuscaloosa Avenue and Megan. I think that's the one you're talking about.
Right.
That's a long-term design. Actually, I had a meeting yesterday. So all these projects, every one you mentioned, are on our master list. We are working through those. Various stages of design as we progress. I will say the council will see several come up for contracts that it's time to acquire some right-of-way for several of those projects. So as we complete the designs, they'll go into multiple phases. One where we have to get property, we'll enter that process. They enter an environmental review process. While that's going on, we'll complete the construction documents to where we'll actually put them out for bids. The one on North 11th is one of the most complex ones. We're coordinating with the Department of Transportation. We have to cross their roadways in several places. And so we're in discussions with them. That's the meeting I determined yesterday, or that I stated we went through yesterday. All of the other ones, they're in various stages. I think off the ones you said, off the top of my head, I think two of those, several are combined with other projects, and several of those other ones are about to enter that right-of-way state. And so they all progress. It's an aggravatingly long process, even for me, even when I'm in the middle of them every day. I will say, and I appreciate you, Mr. Suttles does send me pictures, which is, as we know, a picture's worth 1,000 words. When I have that kind of communication, it quickly lets me know exactly what that problem is. So I encourage that. If you do see issues, take a picture. I'm always willing and love to meet residents on site, but a lot of times when I come on site and they have a picture, I can go get survey and topography and all that all day long, and we do that, but when I see that picture and exactly what's happening, it at least answers my questions real quick. So that puts them on a list, and we go through this process. I hope that satisfies you.
It was one more also. I guess it's called, I always call it Flatwood Cemetery. I think it's called Oak Lawn Cemetery. There's a very bad flooding area in there also, need to be addressed.
So this is the one off of Hickory Street?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So that one's certainly on my radar. That one's a lot more complicated because it is a cemetery. We have to take very special care in how we go about drainage projects, obviously with excavations in that area. And so further coordination is going to have to happen, really probably with the state. I've only approached that one time, and I see Ms. Bostic. I have gone through that in another cemetery. Yeah, we'll certainly need to back up and make sure everybody's on the same page before we do anything in that area.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. I just want to let everybody know I'm back.
Thank you. Glad to have you back, classmate. All right. Goes to item 14, or agenda item 14, remarks by mayor and council. Mayor Ford, would you like to lead us off?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I'll go fast. We want to thank you for the Cancer Care Center, the Cancer Center groundbreaking. Welcome, Naja, again. Gadsden Fire Department update. We're currently down 10 firefighters. We're working on a plan to increase the number of paramedics. Our fire recruiting video went out last week. The Mayor's Memorial Bash with Montgomery Gentry is May the 27th. Don't forget your tickets. It's on Parks and Rec website. And don't forget Wild Man Bill Avery. is playing next weekend, and the mayor's office is sponsoring that concert with his discretionary funds of $5,500. I think that's a deal. If you ever heard Bill Avery sing. So, Bill, I look forward to it, my friend. Grow Gadsden plans are meeting today. Economic development and youth groups today with a master plan are going on right now. We're working and we're about to finalize a tourism transit bus route for those during once First Friday starts to when it ends, to the hot spots to get around. We're working with DGI. We're calling it the Gadabout bus. It'll get you to and from the falls to downtown to any events that we have. So it'll be a special transportation route just for those it's something that I wanted to make sure it happened, and they already had a name for it. So we'll make an announcement again. We want to thank Congressman Adderholt. We were able to secure $6.5 million for the relocation of Highway 411 traffic study. We were able to secure $5 million for Broad Street Bridge from Senator Tubble's office, and $1.5 million for a police mobile command unit from Senator Tubble's office. So when we travel to Washington with the council and the mayor's office, we've been 4 times in the last 6-7 months. It has paid off, and we want to thank our federal representatives. So thank you very much.
Great news. Thank you so much, Mayor Ford. Councilwoman Latham.
Very quickly, I would just like to say God's blessings to Mr. Buster Porch for your spirit of giving to the Thanksgiving dinner. And let me welcome Ms. Corbett to the city of Gadsden. We look forward to, thank you for what you've already been doing, and we look forward to the things that you will bring to our city. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Smith.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to once again thank the mayor's office and his staff for all that you guys are doing. These last 6 months has been pretty awesome. We look forward to the future. Again, welcome to the team, Ms. Corbett, as well. Thank you for the wealth of experience and knowledge that you are bringing to City Hall. I want to give a shout out to those brave officers that helped to save a life. So sometimes good news travels slow. Bad news travel fast, so we appreciate all that you do. The mayor mentioned already the cancer center. We've had several. The mayor mentioned that last week. We've had several, and he also gave credit to the previous administration for some of that, but I'm so thankful. This one was a little bit personal. That's where I received my treatments at. So when you're like me and you have to go to Birmingham for treatments, go to Emory Hospital for treatments, have to go to the Mayo Clinic for treatments, it's different when you get a facility like that, 10,000 square feet. My wife looked at me the other day and said, this reminds me of Mayo Clinic, because so many times I've had to sit there and look out over that water, receiving treatments for about 8 hours. So we're excited to have this center here in our city. And some of those people that show up at terminal, and they know that when they come. So I'm just glad that we have this new facility coming to our city. Also, we plan our next meeting hopefully next Tuesday, if that date works for us. If you're in District 2, I heard Mr. Suttles mention Steelman. And I'm asking the department heads for the first time if you can make it to come out so we can continue to inform our community, that we can continue to grow Gadsden and move forward and keep everybody happy and positive. The last thing is I want to mention the Chief Crane. You mentioned dogs and cats, but if I see a bear, do I need to call the mayor or Chief Crane? I don't know who to call if I see a bear. Call Jason?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We've had 3 spotted in the city, I think, so far. So I'll call you, Jason, if I see a bear.
Yeah, I got into bears.
That's all I have. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers if we don't see you before the end. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Councilman Avery.
Mr. President, June, July, August, we're still conducting sign-ups for our District 3 June, July, and August cleanup days in District 3. Sign up your family, friends, church organizations, non-for-profit organizations. For all of those that have received discretionary funds for District 3, we welcome you also. Okay, to District 3 cleanup months, and that's June, July, and August. We'll have our specific day on next week, as we'll discuss the specifics this evening at our district meeting. Also, in that same frame of cleanup day, I have a announcement here. It says, join us to clean our community. Volunteers, Tuscaloosa Avenue Community Cleanup, May 13th, 2023, 8 a.m. Information and registration at 256-328-4750. Please text individual or group name. Start parking lot of 2 Carter's Fish Inn, corner of Spring Street in Tuscaloosa. And that cleanup effort is put on by Carver Community Revitalization Committee. Want to make an announcement for WMGJ and their Juneteenth celebration as they make the early announcement starting, the program will be June 23rd. It's a dinner with a special recognition of 2 nonprofits as the monies are going for those 2 nonprofits. And so to get more information about that, I don't have their number on hand right now, but just contact WMGJ as it relates to Juneteenth. Also, Carver Community Revitalization is also looking for rappers, singers, poets, praise dancers, line dancers, dance groups, any performing artist for Juneteenth Festival, June 17th, 2023. Contact Brandon Bowtie Hall at 256-485-9501. As I stated earlier, State of District 3, every second Tuesday of each month, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So that will be this evening at the Downtown Civic Center, 623 Broad Street, Gadsden, Alabama. We'll start promptly with our meeting at 6:15. We normally start at 6:30, but we'll definitely start this meeting at 6:15. Promptly, we'll have hors d'oeuvres and things for you this time. We missed it last time. We've sent out an email for particular department heads that relates to certain areas, and so we hope to have them present with us to answer certain questions as it relates to the State of District 3 concerns. Coffee with a Cop. Coffee with a Cop will be Tuesday, May 16th, 2023, 12 p.m. to 12:30. This is at Carver Senior Nutrition Center. Join your neighbors and Gadsden Police Department for coffee and conversation. No agenda or speeches, just a chance to ask questions, voice concerns, and get to know your officer. This is at Carver Community Center Cafeteria, 1030 Tuscaloosa Avenue. The business of the month, as I mentioned last week, will be discussed at this district meeting, and we will announce that business at our next council meeting Tuesday. Wanted to thank Head Start and for their invitation for their fun day that they had last week. Those kids, from my understanding, and the families had a wonderful time at the Falls. Nasia, before you leave out, your Sigma Gamma Rho sister said congratulations, SG Rho. All right. Just wanted to thank you before you leave out. All right. Awesome. Look forward to working with you. So hopefully everyone can see that. So that's a Gadsden City Titans hat. And so we want to congratulate the Gadsden City Titans with their new basketball male and female coach. Wish them great success and winnings as we get ready for prepare for basketball season, or getting ready for that when that comes, and then and all the coaches, but definitely want to highlight those 2 coaches that have new jobs. Also want to appreciate and apologize, as I spoke with him yesterday. Mr. Clarence Underwood was the Etowah County Sports Hall of Fame. He was inducted. They had the ceremony, I think, this past weekend?
Yes,
this past weekend. And so Mr. Clarence Underwood had that official nomination or ceremony this past weekend. So want to thank a homegrown native from Gadsden that was recognized. And so again, with the pallet, we'll talk about pallet of food for our animals and for those concerns that our department needs help with, because District 3 needs them, and so we also need to help with the needs that they have. With that, I yield the remaining of my time. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Wilson.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, Ms. Corbett had to step out, but I'll direct this to you, Brad. I expect you to be able to utilize her as a resource to get Mayor Ford a position on that revolving loan fund that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. There are some entrepreneurs in this community that have a hard time getting a response out of them, and I think our mayor's supposed to have a seat on that board. So take advantage of Ms. Corbett's experience at the East Alabama Regional Planning Commission. But welcome, Ms. Corbett. Congratulations again, and thank you to the Gadsden police officers who were recognized today. Obviously, that's a very heartwarming story, and I imagine that for every one of those that we see them come up here and get hardware for, there's 100 that they don't get recognized for. So thank you to the tremendous job Chief Jaggers does at leading that world-class law enforcement team. Jonathan Tang, again, I recognized him earlier. Thank you for your partnership on the electric charging stations for the electric vehicles, but also I want to recognize Jonathan. I've known Jonathan a long time. We worked together actually at Georgia Pacific in Atlanta right out of college. He's one of the lucky guys in the world that happened to run into a Gadsden native young lady that drug him home to this great town. So he's been an awesome member of the community and the business community here. And more importantly than anything, a lot of people don't realize Jonathan's very involved in the Rush soccer program here in Gadsden. You know, we talk outside of our Parks and Rec department. I can tell you that parents of children, and I know Heath can relate to this, man, parents, these programs for our kids would not exist if it weren't for parents like Jonathan and what they do with Rush Soccer. I mean, we can build these big, beautiful sports parks all we want to, but if those parents weren't out there every day with snacks and coolers and raising money and finding ways to pay coaches and hire officials and pay for jerseys and, you know, all the stuff that goes into maintaining those leagues and providing such an awesome experience for the kids in this community. I mean, I just want to say thank you for what you do for soccer in Gadsden and what all you guys do. To have a beautiful sports park like that is really something special, but it wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for the parents that dedicate and volunteer so much of their time. So thank you, man. I mean that genuinely. Mr. Porch, happy birthday. 80, it's a pretty good run. I think you got that extra 20 cents left in you, I'll tell you that. The community Thanksgiving program, obviously, it's such a heartwarming experience. If y'all have never done it before, to go over there and volunteer your time, you know, and see what a tremendous impact those guys have on the community. Mr. Avery, congratulations on, I'm excited about your upcoming performance. And to that point, Councilman Avery, you had mentioned that y'all were looking for rappers. If you need me, in the words of the great Andre 3000, I have been told that I'm cooler than a polar bear's toenails. So I may not can pull down $5,500 for my performance, but we can talk. That's all I have, Councilman.
Well, I wish we could stop there, but we can't. We still have a few more.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. Councilwoman Minatra.
I don't know how you follow that, but I'll just say that this is National Teachers Appreciation Week, and we want to thank all of the hard work that the teachers do for our community, and in particular, new programs that are coming in the fall for third graders. So I want to shout out to the third grade teachers in particular. And then I want to thank, again, another great performance from the Theater of Gadsden. The Ritz Theater had a great event this past Saturday and Sunday with performances. Looking for a City is a gospel play that if you weren't moved, we had a sellout performance on Saturday matinee, and I just want to thank Warren Mullins, who's the president of the Theater of Gadsden, for all his hard work in bringing food trucks to Alabama City and having a street closure and a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Robinson.
Yes, Mr. President, I have a lot to say, but everybody said it before me. So even to the last, I just, the teachers, I marked it off. So Chris Robinson from District 7 did say everything that these council, we speak as a whole, we speak as one. I appreciate everybody doing that for me. Another good day of council meeting and a good day of government work. I feel like a lot of positive stuff happened today. We had a long pre-council meeting. We were having a long council meeting, and we're about to get back here and do it again for our second council meeting. So as for all that, I'll say, how do you say it, Mr. Avery? I yield the rest of my time.
And I guess that yields to me as the president of the council. I'd say the same thing. Police and Ms. Corbett, and my wife is a kindergarten teacher. This is her 40th year, so if I don't say something about that, next time you see me, I'll have one eye closed probably. So thank you to our teachers. Our son is also a teacher, so very grateful for teachers and what they mean to all of us. If you can read, thank a teacher. So we're grateful for our teachers in Gadsden. I want to announce also there is a special called meeting today at 1:30 in this room, which is in about 55 minutes. It's for nuisance abatement cases. We decided we're trying to do those monthly as opposed to every week, so it'll shorten the council meetings. So thank God we did that.
Yeah, that's working.
Thank goodness that we've done that, or else we'd be here for much longer. But that's going to be at 1:30 if you're involved in that, or if you have questions, or if you just have a bag of popcorn and want to come see what happens, come on back at 1:30. And with that,
President Beck, I know you've said that you were going to crack down on this, oh, by the way, part of the council meetings, but I promise you I'm less afraid of you than I am of my beautiful stepmother,
Amen.
Who is also a teacher, Beth Wilson. Happy birthday. She's been a wonderful stepmother to me for almost 40 years. Happy birthday. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for being a great teacher.
Oh, that's great. Well, that's well worth it. She's also...
I'll take my licks from you.
She teaches with my son, so she's wonderful. Thank you. We now are adjourned.